going on, everybody, and welcome back to the beatmajors.net. Yo, so I got a new trick, like a new chain, right, on how to fatten up your 808s. I know everybody has different ways to fatten up their 808s or to make their 808s stand out as much as possible, because in this day and age, we want that 808 to be smacking. We want that bass to really hit, right? So over the years, I've been trying different techniques and trying different things, and I even have some videos about mixing bass and things like that. But, you know, over time, you always come up with a new trick, new technique. So I wanted to show you guys my technique and kind of help you guys out to making your 808 stand out more in your mix so that you can, you know, possibly, you know, get that bass pumping in your beat. So I have a new technique here, and I had to pull my mixer here. So I want to show you guys just the loop, the kick, and the 808 together. I'm not going to play the whole beat just because there's a lot going on and it makes the computer go nuts. So got hella plugins going on. So I'm just going to play the loop and the kick, the 808 together, and just show you guys, you know, my chain here. So I'm going to show you with the effects on. So let's get into it real quick here. Turn these effects back on. All right, check this out. All right, so you kind of get the gist of it. That's pretty much the 808 pattern throughout the whole track. So basically, your 808, man, it's all about when you're making a beat. I'm just gonna say this: when you're making a beat, it's all about the sound selection, right? So with this 808, it already started off as a pretty solid 808, and it sounds like this without effects or anything. This is what it sounds like. So it's a long resonating 808 that we used, and that brought that already was a good sounding 808. It already had the higher dynamic, the higher frequencies, as well as the low end. But in order for us to make it stand out more, we had to, of course, add a certain type of chain. So this is what the 808 sounds like with the beat without any effects on it. So like, that's a good 808. You know, it's still, you can still hear it, but you can't really feel it. So what I did was I added some effects here. You know, normal things. I added the distortion here first, and your chain can be whatever way, whatever order, whatever sounds good to you. But this is just the way that I do it to get that, you know, how mine sounds. So I added some distortion. I didn't really do too much. I didn't do any changes as far as their preset once I threw it on there. I just turned it down and mixed it to about 47%. And then I add one, which is called the radiator. Now I'm going to show you what this radiator does. This is by Sound Toys. Shout out to Sound Toys for this. This radiator here, this is a vintage tube amp. And it has a little bit of EQ, as you can see, the bass and the treble. But it's a tube amp. You can have a noisy bass to where it just kind of leaves a little hiss in the background. You can have a clean bass. You can have a line, or you can have it for a mic. And of course, this is a bass, so we would set it on the line input. It's really about how you want it to sound. This is just preference settings here. So some people might like the way that the mic setting sounds, but like I said, this is a bass. Usually you'd have a bass if it was on an input, you'd have it on line. So just so it'll give it a boost. Of course, the input and output is already set at 0. We didn't really turn it up or turn it down or anything. It already has its own boost in. As soon as you drop it on, it already has a boost. So let me play it for you so you can hear what I'm talking about. So as I was toggling through, you can hear the difference as to what it sounds like with that amp on and how it gave it that nice little boost. Wasn't a drastic boost, but it was pretty good enough to bring it out. The next thing I added was the R bass. And oh, back to the amp. I'm sorry. on this amplifier too, there's a bunch of amps out there that you can purchase. Like if you have a guitar rig, you can use one of their amps in there. You know, to kind of get the same style or the same feel as well. But there's a lot of different amp plugins out there. If you can't afford the Sound Toys, you can go get a free download somewhere on a website. You can even go to Sound Toys website, I think, and download this for free just to try it out. But there's a lot of websites out there that will let you get the different amp plugins for free, just to either test it out or because they're just giving it away for free. I added the R bass as well. This brings out a little bit of the harmonics of the 808, and I'll show you what it sounds like on top of that radiator plugin. So there's so many things that you can do to bring these 808s out, man. And then in this harmonics resonance bass plugin, I just set it at I used the preset big bottoms, and usually I think it starts off around this frequency. Let's see here, big bottoms starts off about 58. Using the presets, that's why you got to tweak presets sometimes, because you can't just throw the preset on and keep going. Usually with presets you have to mess with them and kind of in order to find that sweet spot for you. So this is what it sounds like if I would have just left the preset going. Nothing wrong with that, but the only thing is for me is it's bringing out more of the mid area frequencies, the lower mid area rather than the lower area. So when I kind of drag it down, kind of where I was at 41, and you can hear the lower frequencies kind of coming out as well. So I got the lower mid area still, but then I'm also bringing in some of that lower frequency too. So that helped us a lot as well. And then of course I did some EQing here, cut out some of this low end around 37 hertz, brought up around 92. Let's see, where's that at? Is that at 92? It says 80. Yeah, 80. I'm sorry. 80 hertz. Brought up 80 hertz at about 45%. And then I cut out around 690. And without that, as you can hear, we get a lot of that higher area frequency registering still. So when I throw the EQ on, and EQ kind of helps you shape a sound. It kind of helps you shape the frequencies out. You know what I mean? I probably could have left some of that higher end, but the way that the beat is, the piano is talking a little bit more than the higher. The piano is registering at a higher frequency than the 808 should be. So I want the piano to stand out, but I also want my 808s to be where it needs to be, which is the lower end. So that's why I did that cut on the 808. So let's check it out together again. And then I put a sidechain on the 808 as well, so that the kick, as soon as the kick hits, that 808 drops. As you guys already know, I have a sidechain video. You can check that out too. And you know, that loop right there is from boatloadkits.com. So if you guys like this loop and you want to check on more like that, that loop is from the boatloadkits.com kit. And I want to say that it is from our Ferrari kit. That comes from our Ferrari loop kit. This loop here is from the Ferrari joint. So if you guys want to check that out, man, definitely check it out. There's a lot of dope loops in here. There's about, I think, 50 loops in here. So many different loops in there, man, to get you going, get your beats to the next level. You know what I'm saying? But if you got some value out of this, man, that's pretty much my chain. I just want to help you guys out, kind of help you bring your 808s out, bring your 808s more out, or out more in your mixes, man. So if you got some value out of this, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell button afterwards. Leave a comment below of what you guys want to see next as far as mixing, so I can kind of help and teach you guys how to do certain things as far as mixing. So yeah, I'll get with you guys. Until next time, peace.